friends, it's Amanda here from Fun Hands-On Learning. I'm really excited about today's video because today I'm going to talk to you about how I teach literacy to young children like pre-K and kindergarten age kids. By literacy, I mean how I teach phonics and reading. Okay, so I have a few things that I'm going to show you in this video. I have some phonics cards, I have phonics charts, I have all sorts of activities I'm going to share with you, but mostly I want to share with you the 4 steps that I use when I am planning out my lessons and then delivering those lessons to the students, okay? Now, I've done videos like this in the past, and I've shared with you kind of my 3-step approach. But in this video, I'm going to throw in a 4th step because before I was just specifically in other videos talking about phonics. And in this video, I'm adding in all of literacy. So I'm adding in the reading component. So there's actually 4 steps that I follow. And let me just outline those steps really quick and then we'll get into the fun stuff of the video, okay? So the first thing that I do with my students is what I used to call warm-ups, and I still sometimes call them warm-ups because I have it in my head to call them warm-ups, and that's because I used to be an elementary school teacher, and that's just what we called them. But now I kind of call them more drills or memory drills, okay? So the first thing we do is warm-ups, or you could call them memory drills, all right? So I will show you those. The second thing that we do is we read, okay? So I'm going to show you some books and things. And then the third thing we do is all the hands-on learning activities. And you've seen many of those activities if you've seen any of my other videos. So, and if you haven't seen those other videos, I would highly recommend go check out my channel because I have lots of fun hands-on activity videos for phonics and for reading, including other subjects like math and so on, science, history, Bible, things like that. And if you are new to my channel, I want to first of all say welcome. I am a homeschooling mom. I have 8 children and we have been homeschooling now for 10 years. And before homeschooling, I was an elementary school teacher in the classroom for 10 years. So now I've had 20 years in education, and I love sharing all of the things that we're doing and all of my previous experience with you guys, and then getting to know you and learn from you as well. Because every year is a growing and a learning opportunity for sure, because every year your children are different ages, and if you have a classroom, you have different students, and they're all different. Every child is different, and every child needs different learning pathways, right? They have different learning styles. So yeah, so anyways, welcome, and let's get back to it. All right, so the first one was we do warm-ups and memory drills. The second one is we do our reading. The third one is we do our hands-on activities. And then the fourth one, the last one that we do is like we do some writing, which is workbook or worksheet type pages. Even though this is a hands-on learning channel, I don't shy away from doing some workbook and some writing pages because children need that. They need that exposure and they need to be able to write. So, and it also helps their brain, okay? Because as they're writing, they're using 2 modes. They're using their hand muscles and then along with the brain, okay? And sometimes if they're saying it out loud, then they're using a verbal mode as well. So, yeah, so I don't shy away from that, but that is usually the last thing we do. It's more of an application part of our day. So those are the 4 things I'm going to walk through today in this video, and if you are excited to see that, then come along with me and let's get to it. Okay friends, so the very first thing that we do is we do our warm-ups, or what I'd like to call now our memory drills. And we do that using flashcards and reference charts, okay? So I'm going to show you kind of what we do with this reference chart. And this part of our lesson is probably one of the more important parts, I would say, because we're practicing our sounds every single day. So here's the first chart, and by the way, I have an old video with some old charts that we have been using, and I updated our charts. And so this is like a new set of charts, and if you are looking for any of these resources, I will be leaving links below in the description box so you can get the same ones that I have if you're interested. But if you have an alphabet chart or like this one, a vowel chart, you can do the same thing with us. So what we do is we go ahead and we practice our vowels. every single day. And we start out with our vowels right away when the children first start school in the beginning of the school year, and we continue it all through the year. And when you do things repetitively like that, children really remember it. So this memory section of our learning has become very important. So when we do our chart, we do it a couple of different ways. One thing is we love to use songs. Okay, so one of the songs that we do is A says ah, ah, E says ah, ah, I says I, I. O says ah, ah, U says ah, ah. I know my vowels, A, E, I, O, U. And then you can also do it with the picture. So it would go like this. A for apple, E for elephant, I for inchworm, I, inchworm, O for ostrich, U for umbrella. I know my vowels, A, E, I, O, U. Okay, do it every single day with your students. They will love it. We also do our sound review, so we would go over the sounds. Capital E, lowercase I, capital O, ah. You can do it like that. We also do it where we just say the sounds. So, for example, we would say I, ah, I, and so on, okay? And we do it together. So any of the children that I'm teaching, we do it together, and you can do different ages together. It really doesn't matter. Even my older kids will get in on the fun because I am a homeschool mom, so I have kids of all different ages. So even though I'm doing this with my pre-K and my kindergarten students, my older students will sometimes do it with us, and that's okay because it's never going to hurt them to review sounds, right? So there's that one, and then we also do the same thing. So after we do our consonants, we like to do our vowels. And my old chart pack, I will leave a link below to my old charts as well, because they also had, there's alphabet charts in there that you can use too. And some of you already have that pack of charts, and so you can use those too. But this is just like a new updated version. And these are part of my reading fun for pre-K and kindergarten kind of curriculum bundle that I'm working on right now. So if you want to check it out, it'll be in the links below. But when we do the consonants, we kind of do it like this. Capital B, lowercase b. B says b as in ball. B says b, b, b. Capital C, lowercase c. C says k as in cat. C says k, k, k. So we have our consonant charts. Then we quickly move to our and you can see here there's a consonant sound review that we can do. But then we quickly usually move to our consonant and vowel blends, okay? And we will practice these. B, a, ba. B, a, ba. B, I, bi. B, a, ba. B, a, ba. And then they have to pick which one goes with the picture. And since we've done it so many times, they already know, but they know ba is for basket and so on. But we will review, now I won't review every chart every single day, but we will review many charts each day. We will go through and we will spend a good 5-10 minutes at least reviewing different charts. So I won't go through all the charts. There's consonant and vowel blends, and then we get into some different words and things like that. And maybe someday I will try to, in this video, I will try to leave maybe a little clip of my students doing this part of our day. It is the very first part of our lesson, our phonics and reading lesson for the day, is doing all of our charts. Now, besides doing the charts, we also do flashcards, and let me show you how we do those. Okay, so we have flashcard sticks, and I'm going to go through those really quickly. I've shown you flashcard sticks in many other videos. These come from my Phonics for Reading curriculum. And then we also use Phonics flashcards. This is a new set. I revised some of our Phonics flashcards. So this is a new set, and I will leave a link below to those and show you kind of how we do them. But what we do is I will mix up the cards instead of using a chart. And then I will just flash the card at a certain person. So I'll say Peter, and he'll say capital O, lowercase o. O says ah as an ostrich. O says ah, ah, ah. And then I'll say Seth. And he'll have to say capital U, lowercase u. U says as an umbrella. U says So I'll just have them mixed up. Now we'll do our lowercase, we'll do our short vowels, but also we have been recently doing our long vowels, okay? Because we are getting close to the end of the school year, so I have introduced long vowels. A for acorn, A says A. E for eagle, E says E. So we'll go through them, and then there's also charts on these, and then I'll mix them up. Again, like I said, I'll mix them up, and then I'll flash it. Capital E, lowercase e. E says E as an eagle, E says E. Capital A, lowercase a. A says A as an acorn, A says A. You get it, right? So we do our little flashcards. We also do the same thing with the consonants, so I'll mix them up, and we go fast. I mean, it's flip, 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 so it's like this. I'll say Pete, and he'll say capital C, lowercase c. C says k as in cat, C says k. He'll say capital R, lowercase r. R says as in ring, R says So you get the idea, right? So we do those. We also do these. These are just regular flashcards. We have capitals and lowercase, okay? We've been doing these kind of flashcards forever, and I do them with our flashcard sticks as well, but let me just show you with these. So you mix them up, and then they have to just say the sound. So you could do the letters too, but I just do the sound. So I'll just flash it, and I'll point at a student or say their name, and then they have to say I, J, O, P, T, X, A, and so on, okay? And since they're capital and lowercase, it makes sure that they know their different capital and lowercase letters, right? And then you have to know the sounds. Okay, so we do those. Practicing the flashcards is a wonderful, wonderful way to get them to remember. And we literally do them every day. And it doesn't take very long because you're going through it quickly. We also have picture cards. So I will hold up a picture card, and they will say, apple, A. They'll tell me the sound, the sound, the picture, and then the letter. Elephant, E. And then we'll flip to a different one. Inchworm, I, and so on, okay? So we do the pictures. Those ones are our vowel pictures. And then I have consonant pictures as well. And then sometimes we will do our vowel sound pictures. So these ones are I'm sorry if my camera's not very good. Okay, these ones are for middle vowel sounds. So I'll show them the picture, and they will have to tell me the vowel sound. E for hen. A for bag. I, dip. I, pig. O, dog, and so on, okay? So we do those. Now, it's also really fun to use our flashcard sticks, which I've showed you in other videos, and you can kind of use them the same way. And I flip through them very, very quickly. All right, so these are our vowels. And sometimes we'll even do the song. A says E says I says I. O says U says I know my vowels. A, E, I, O, U. But also you can flip through them quickly and have them say them individually. They're just like the flashcards that I was showing you, except for they're on sticks. So sometimes it's a little bit more fun because the children can pick them up themselves and do the different sounds. Okay, so we have those. You can also use these sticks for activities, which is what we mostly use them for. If you haven't seen any of my videos using flashcard sticks for hands-on learning activities, check out those videos, and maybe if I remember, I will leave a link below to one or two of them. So we do those. These are the short vowel ones. So we have been practicing reading short vowel words. So I will just flip through these and they have to read them. Sometimes some of my students, because I have 3 kids, or actually I have 3 kids that are doing this. Some of them can just, like my 4-year-old, he can just read them. So I would just flip through them like this. Bug, sun, pig, fox. But then like my special needs child, he has to still sound them out, which is totally fine. So I would hold it up and he would go t, b, tub, good, k, t, cat, good. And we go through them like that, okay? So we have those. We also have the pictures. So you would do the pictures the same way I showed you those other flashcards. You'd hold it up and they would say, wah, wagon, W. All right? And then, I have these out because we've just recently started reading long vowel words. So these are the long vowel ones. So this is from my long vowel unit of my Phonics for Reading curriculum. These are from my short vowel unit, these and these. And then these are from my alphabet unit. Okay, now we're going to move on to the reading portion of our lesson. So we just finished the memory drill part of our lesson. And the second part of our day of literacy is reading. Okay, now first I just wanted to show you most of the resources I'm going to show you that we use besides just regular books come from my Phonics for Reading curriculum, which is right here. I have 3 of the units that we're currently doing here, or shouldn't say currently doing, but the 3 units that I do with pre-K and kindergarten students are Unit 1 alphabet, then Unit 2 short vowels, and then the last one that we get into is long vowels. I usually don't go much past that, especially with pre-K kids. But if I have some children that are excelling, we might get past long vowels in a year. But if we do, then it goes into a little bit more difficult phonics patterns for the next couple of units. I'll leave a link below to my Phonics for Reading curriculum. You can get it straight from me, or you can get it on my Teachers Pay Teachers website as well. So I'll leave both links. Okay, so what we do for reading is sometimes we do a little bit more sounds. These are Fluency pages from my Phonics for Reading curriculum, and these are from the alphabet unit, and they would just go through ya, pa, g, s, qua, I, e. They would go through these pages. These ones is where they read the words k, at, cat, s, un, sun. We might pick a different one to do each day. And then here's some consonant and blend vowel ones too. So these are from different units that I have. Now, what I mostly want to show you is we work our way through these phonics books that I have created from my Phonics for Reading curriculum. We work our way through these, and I also have other phonics books that I've written over the years that are on my website, and I will leave links below to those. But these are from the short vowel unit. And for example, this is the short E book. So E says eh as in pet, E says eh, eh, eh. And then we go over our rule. When a word has only one vowel and it comes between 2 consonants, it usually says the short sound. Of course, you want to teach them vowels and consonants and the differences before you get into the short vowel unit. And that I kind of mentioned that when I was saying how on our charts, we always go over our vowels separately from our consonants, so the children know the difference. They know that vowels are special. Okay, so this is what these books kind of look like. We read through the words and we read through the sentences. Here's the short E-book. Okay, and at the end of each book, there are more words, the same words that were in here for us to review. Okay, so, you know, short A looks the same. And if I have clips of my children using these books, I'll try to leave clips in this video so you can kind of see them doing it. But here's the short O book and so on. Okay, so we read through those and we will do them multiple times. You know, we don't just do it one day and then that's it. We will do it multiple times, okay? Then we also have our short vowel ladder books that we read through. They look like this, and we read through different short vowel words, okay? So just wonderful reading practice. So there's all of those. And then there's also stories. So here are our long vowel books. These are from the long vowel unit, and we've been working our way through these. Here's what long A looks like. Okay, same thing. It has a long vowel word, and then we read through the sentences. But there's also story books. Let's get past these that look like this. So here's a storybook, Play in the Rain. And these phonics books use the long vowel rules, and they practice long vowel words in all of the sentences in the stories, okay? They're just simple stories, but wonderful ways to review your phonics sounds because they focus on a specific, you know, phonics rule, like long vowels for this one, okay? And then it reviews the words at the end. So anyways, we're working our way through these. So these are great. Also in here, I have all of our alphabet books. These all come from the first unit. And so if you want to go back in time, we work our way through these at the beginning of the school year. And they're just kind of, they're a little bit more simple, obviously, but we practice apple, alligator, and so on as we're learning our vowels. I mean, as we're learning our letters at the beginning of the year. And there's one for every letter of the alphabet, obviously. Okay, now let's go on to actual books. So these are all of our phonics readers. Let's move those off to the side. And by the way, I have more of those, and you can find phonics readers a lot of different places. There's some good ones out there. You don't have to download mine, but I'll leave some resources below in the description box. Okay, then of course we always read out of storybooks, okay? And so I like to choose books for the month's theme, okay? And we are in March going into April. It's almost April, and we are very close to Easter. So I'm just gonna go through and show you some of the books that I chose currently for my students, and we read through them. Now, if they can read a word, I let them read it. But most of the time I have to read to them until we get, you know, further along. But they really pick up quickly with the words. So here's a Pet and Play Easter book. And for example, they could read the word pet, they could read the word play. So I would read biscuits, and then I would point, and then one of my children could read pet. This, and I would tell them this means and then I'd try to have one of them read this word, and then we talk about, this is the word Easter, okay, so that they recognize it and kind of be like a sight word. So I will read, and same thing, if it's a word that I know that they can read, I'll let them read it, otherwise I'll read, and so on. Okay, so here's one that I chose. I also have this Easter book. I thought I'd just kind of choose something that goes with our theme. I always, at the beginning of each month or season, I will grab books. So like we just finished all of our winter themed books, and so we are moving into spring themed books and Easter themed books. So I thought this was really cute. It's not easy being a bunny, and I thought, you know, since it's Easter and spring, it'd be fun to read about a bunny. Okay, these next three books are vintage books, except for they're reprinted. Okay, so they're vintage books reprinted, but I love vintage books, you guys. This one, let's see, this was written in 1969, okay? I just think that vintage books are so wonderful. They teach morals. Why have we stopped teaching our children morals in books? So I love vintage books. I try to get them when I go to consignment stores, or there's places online that you can get old books. But these are actually a reprint that I got off of Amazon. They're a vintage book set that was reprinted, and I don't have all of them here. They come in a set of maybe 8 books, but I grabbed the 3 that I thought were like spring and Easter themed. So I have Mr. Flop Ears that we're going to read this month, Little Rabbit's Bath, and Jeepers the Little Frog. Okay, so I thought they were really cute. This one, I know, this one just looks like my boys, like just reminds me of boys, because, you know, frogs and everything. I mean, they would be all about frogs, and it's springtime, so excited to read this. And I will probably have to read most of these to them, but that's totally fine. I also pulled out our Osborne Book of Bible Stories because, of course, we're going to be reading through the Easter story. So I marked that one. And then here's where you can go cross-curricular. So even though we're doing reading and phonics, we can bring in some science and history and all that good stuff when we read literature, right? So here I'm going to bring in some science, and I love these old 1980 books. Like, these were books like I had when I was a kid, I think, because, you know, I'm a child of the 80s. Okay, so these were science books written in the 80s. They were weekly readers. And this one is What Are Seasons and What is a Butterfly. I have a whole set of these. Like, I have ones on teaching kids. They're all about science. So like I have ones on magnets, how magnets work, and oh, I can't think of them all, but I picked these two because I want to, we've been actually doing a lot on seasons lately, and with it changing into spring, I thought this would be a good one, and I'm bringing in some science here, even in reading class, right? And then What is a Butterfly is a great one, I thought, for springtime, and it is going to talk about how butterflies, the butterfly life cycle, and it's going to go through science, and I think these books are so cute. So bringing in some cross-curricular things, some more cross-curricular. This is The Garden. This is an Usborne book. These are fun. They're Lift the Flap, and we will read through that one. This one is another science book, From Caterpillar to Butterfly. So since we were talking about butterflies in this one, I grabbed this one too. I don't know how much we'll get to, but we always read a little bit every single day. Oh, and then this one is just a classic. I mean, The Ugly Duckling is a classic, and I thought it was a good springtimey book because it's, you know, a duck. But it's, I mean, this is the classic story of the Ugly Duckling. All right, so I grabbed this one too. I have a collection of children's books, lots of children's books in one of our cabinets, and so I just go through them and take out the ones that I think would work well for the season. Oh, and let me just move the camera here and show you. You see this right here? I also took out Peter Rabbit's Giant Storybook because obviously we are in, you know, Easter time, and so you got to read about Peter Rabbit, and that has all sorts of the stories by Beatrix Potter with Peter Rabbit. Okay. Okay, we are now moved into our third part of our literacy lesson for the day. So again, let's review. We did our memory drills. That was the flashcards and the phonics charts. Then we go into reading and we do some reading. And then after we do our reading is when we do all of our hands-on activities. And this is basically what my channel is about, right? This is what I show you all the time, is the hands-on activities that we do. And we usually do 1 or 2 a day, just depends on our timing. So 1 or 2 phonics ones a day, and then we do 1 or 2 math a day as well. So depending on how much time we have. So I just took one out here, let me show you, of Unit 2 of our short vowels, just to kind of show you one in this video, but I will refer you to all my other videos with all of my other hands-on activities, because that's pretty much what I have on this channel. You will see us doing all of these fun activities. So here is a word family caterpillars. I love this activity. So here is the face of our bug, and then they have to find all of the words that end in ug. So we have rug, and we have bug, and we have tug. Okay, and we are making ourselves a caterpillar. Here is mug, and there's even one more, jug, which is hard to see if I can scoot you back. There we go. Okay, so our ug words. Okay, so this is just one example of a hands-on activity that we might do one day. Okay, so there's ug, here's op. Let's look at our op caterpillar. We have mop and cop. And you guys know I also like to use hands-on activities that go with the season. And right now, if you look at the last video that I just showed you, I was talking to you guys about the Easter-themed activities that we are doing this week. So we're not actually doing this activity this week, but I just wanted to take one out to show you the next part of our day is doing our hands-on activities. And maybe if I think of it, I will put a clip in here of my children doing a hands-on activity, just to give you an idea if you've never seen any of my other videos. Okay, we are on to the very last part of our day, and the last part of our literacy lesson, or literacy day, I guess you could say, before we move on to math or something else, would be to do a workbook page or a worksheet. And I know I've showed you guys these a million times. These are our Learn to Read Level Fluency pages. This is our first set, our old set, okay, which is still awesome. This is level A, and then it moves on to level B, gets a little bit harder, and moves on to level C, back here, which is even harder. And then I also have our Learn to Read Level Fluency Beyond, which is the second set, because I had, this is probably one of our one of my top selling things that I've ever made, ever. And so I went and made Learn to Read Level Fluency Beyond for those of you who have kind of exhausted the workbook pages that are in here and wanted to move on. And so that's this one. And we have exhausted these, so I kind of wanted new ones as well. So I made new sheets, and so we can just do one worksheet a day. Okay, and so this is level A. This is what we start with, and we do one worksheet a day. And then level B is here, a little bit harder. We are currently finishing up level B as we speak, and then as the kids move along, level C gets into like digraphs and trigraphs and R-controlled vowels and all those other wonderful phonics sounds that we might come across as we become better readers. Okay, so there's level C for you. So they're all different. So all of these pages are different from the pages in Learn to Read Level Fluency, but they all work on the same phonetic skills. And you would want to start, you know, with a preschooler on level A, very, very simple, and move on to, you know, well, you could move through this set first, A, B, and C, and then you can move it through this set, A, B, and C. Okay, so you have enough worksheets here for the entire school year if you have both sets. And then let me just say that there's also other workbook pages that we do from time to time besides these. And I've written other workbook pages, and I will try to leave links below to those that we also do. But I don't have them out here in this video. Okay, so that is it. You guys remember the 4 steps to a literacy lesson if you are going to teach the fun hands-on learning way. Number 1 is our warm-ups, or what I call now memory drills. Number 2 is reading. You got to read books, right? Number 3 is hands-on activities, and lots of hands-on activities. And then number 4 is our workbook worksheet pages. All right, and there's a literacy lesson day for you in pre-K and kindergarten, the fun hands-on learning way. See you in the next video. Bye.